You like that? The broken ass Imperial March I got for the no? Yes? No. Hello.
Yeah, it was good. Like I said, man, the only thing that's missing is a couple of little 8-bit Jedis or Wookiees doing the little dance across the top of the screen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 4, episode 3. Where's the crawl? Where's the big Star Wars crawl? Well, that's when we get to like page 5 of the official mission, because we're still in the in-between. We're almost there. We're not going to spend... We actually spent 2 sessions on that. What would we talk about? Like a 10-minute cutscene turned into like 2 entire episodes, but worth the wait.
We got stuff to do, man. We got stuff to do.
A lot of people want to know about the armor. A lot of people want to know about Aiden outing himself as a Jedi. Just in time for Pride Month, but as a Jedi. And a lot of people wanted to know about the ship upgrades. So, that's all covered. But there's one thing left after Master Dina had purified Poser Sham's former master's crystal. And did she give it back to you or she hang on to it?
She gave it back to me.
She did. So, that time, or even sometime later, the scene comes down in deep, random space aboard the Resurgence, where many a Alderaanian former security guard are doing their last tour of duty. No, sorry, first tour of duty, because they got 20 years to go before their pension kicks in. You know what I'm saying? And they're very stoked. You have young crew members, you've got a couple veterans on this ship. Everyone's ready to go. And the fact that the mercenaries that work for Bail Organa have returned, there's much a jitter. The fact that an old female Master Jedi surviving the Clone Wars and the purge that started is aboard the ship, and the fact that she's recovered and is now seen publicly wandering a couple halls. You know, I mean, there's a couple times where she'll get on a turbo lift and then just sprint down the hallway. You know, the crew not putting together that Rahal's come the other way and she's trying to like avoid, you know, they're just very happy. It's like, wow, she's getting around. She's full recovery. It's really good kind of thing. There's also rumor now that one of the mercenaries, the master, has taken a shining to, one of the younger ones. Whether for Amore or as a Padawan, we don't know. Maybe we're talking about 2 different people. You know, it's just a rumor. But the scene comes down to...
I just want to ask you something, Poser. Now that you're back in the whole Padawan mode, does that mean you're ditching the leathers and now you're rocking the robes?
No, not quite. So
leather robes.
So the guy liner is gone. A lot of the piercings are gone. He still has a couple in the ears, but all the facial piercings are gone. He still has the tattoos. He still rocks the heavy metal t-shirts and, you know, torn up jeans. But it's kind of more of a mixture because, you know, he doesn't want to have, you know, a huge glowing sign that says, "Here I am, Jedi," you know, and the robes kind of do that. But he's done hiding behind the mask.
Do your clothes look robe-ish? Like, you've noticed, like, in every movie where there's a Jedi, they I mean, there's the classic, right, with the brown on tan on burgundy and all that kind of thing. But in the new stuff, Rey's wraps and everything had a robe-ish look by the end of the third movie. And like, if you've got something like that, Anakin, when he came out, the prequels, had his dark sort of suit, and the robes were very short. You could see his legs; they weren't very long, but it was like a tunic kind of thing. You watch Clone Wars and you see all kinds of Jedi wearing all kinds of stuff. Not, you know, only half of them wear the flowing robes. So do your clothes have some sort of Jedi accents to them, I guess is what we're asking?
At the moment, no.
Okay.
But as time progresses, I'm sure Poser's style will change.
Yeah.
And he might go, you know, a little more Jedi, a little more vested, you know.
They say clothes make the man, but sometimes experience, young man. So here's an experience for you. As I was saying, the scene comes down to the private chambers of Poser Sham, where he has meticulously decluttered rearranged and has, tidied the room for the master's new visits, because we don't just train in her room or abroad. Sometimes, he's comfortable in his own dwelling, and I don't think she's told you to clean it up or whatever, but now that you're officially, the master's coming by, it's a little, the bong goes under the bed, and, it's a couple things have got to, got to go.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Where is the crystal? Where's Master's crystal?
So Master's crystal is, at the moment, since it's been purified, I've actually reconnected it back into the guitar. Because I feel like that's the safest place to keep it until I can pass it on to someone else.
All right. So now, young Jedi, she says, for one, not the last, but one of the final parts of your training, she says, I want you to sand and paint and scrub and run. Because you know what rhymes with Padawan? Danielson. But instead of sanding that
Wax
deck...
on?
Oh, yeah.
Wax off.
It gets better. Instead of sanding that deck, she pulls off a shoe and presents you with the worst foot care you've ever seen in your life. I need you to sand down these warts and bunions. Instead of painting that fence, I need you to paint these nails. And then I need you to run to your homeworld and see if you can't contact a Master Valerius. I knew a gentleman of your species once, back in the day. See if he's still around. He was clever. I'll give you the coordinates. And so ensues the, hard worth ethic training. Cut to Poser, with her in a bath with naked, suds up to here, thank God for modesty, and her foot hanging out, and he's there with the welding torch and the helmet that comes down, and he's blasting away, sanding away with the freaking the one that plugs in, the big spinning wheel.
He's got the grinder.
That's right, everything. For no good reason, there's him coming up from lower decks with a pole with 2 buckets of liquid that he's hauled from somewhere, and he's trucking around with them, and people, he's turning sideways and going up and down turbo lifts and stuff, trucking it. People have no idea where the buckets of the fluid came from, that type of thing. I'm hauling around, right? There's a scene with him with a jumping rope, and it's skipping like mad, and you can see him eagerly looking, and then it pans out, and he's just hovering off the ground, and the rope's going by itself, but he's sweating, and he's so intense, and making himself and the rope move, type of thing. Back to lifting the helmet from the grinder, that doesn't work, and he pulls out the blowtorch and gets the going and gets it going, and that type of thing, right? Back to him, more buckets coming onto the bridge, and then just turning around and going. Everybody just looks at him, and he just turns around and goes away, type of thing, right? You see him, lifting barbells, that kind of thing, and you see the hand. It's totally legit, right? And then you see it pulls back, and he's spotting for another guy, but he's helping the poor schlep lift the weights for him, type of thing. But the cadets are oh, look at this, I'm awesome, kind of thing. He's giving them low gravity kind of thing, type of thing, training on the down low, that type of thing. More buckets going up and down, type of thing. People like Merrick and Rahal just kind of they want to ask him, but no, right? Back to the bathtub. And now she's in.
Stitch the torch, and now he's got a pickaxe.
Oh yeah, totally. He's just hammering like mining freaking crystals or whatever.
No, screw pickaxe. He grabs the vibro axe and just starts trying to shave with that.
There you go. Yeah, he's got the axe going, and it's just type of thing. Or he's sharpening the axe, then he goes over to the foot and sighs and tries again. Type of thing. Then you see him making progress. Remember those Jeffries tubes where he's not trying to touch the wires? He's just floating, spitting calmly, checking his email, that type of thing on a tablet now. And he's got entire squads of guys, and he's just in a corner kind of bored and lifting one finger, and all the 5 dumbbells are going up for 5 cadets in a row type of thing. He's starting to ace some of these tasks or whatever. You see him back with Master Dina, and she's done up out of the bath in like a house coat and her hair wrapped up in a towel, and he's painting her nails and toes and everything, and he's giving her the goth look, like with the black and the speckled white and everything, and she's like, "Woo," this kind of thing, right? Pulls off the towel, and you just see the back of the hair, and it's like, kind of thing, and he's like, he goes back to like the whole axe and grinder and all that thing kind of routine, right? All this stuff. On and on and on it goes. And then you see a scene where you don't get to see how Dina turned out yet. You just see the back of the full Master Jedi robe, and you see him loaded up in his Z95, supposedly with the coordinates, given the signal to clear, and flying off to his home world to see if he can't contact a master. And weeks go by. You guys start finishing up projects. You finish up the ship, you finish up the engines, the shields. Dr. Left does more research. Things may or may not have progressed for Rawl. If he's maybe started training or got anywhere with Dina, you don't know. Because now the scene comes back to an obvious appreciable amount of time later, and you see a Z95 repainted and docking. And it's the original paint job, but it wasn't a rush job. Like, it's been done high end, by a stylist artist, and glossed and metallic and everything. Like, his original paint job has obviously been gone through like, a pro shop, and it's like, it's really tricked out now type of thing. He's got like the guns on the side are all like gold bling and everything, and up docking, like, it's not going to dock with the Resurgence, which only holds 1 or 2. It's actually going to come up. The Archelon is docked with the Resurgence neck, and his ship comes up into the now modified docking bay, which is going to be his pad. And it comes up, and there's, of course, Master Dina sensed him. There's a figure in robes waiting for him. Aiden, will you step out of the cockpit and, let your cone hair down and tell us about your new look, as you've didn't find the master, but you found evidence and material and data that he left, as well as something very, very special. But we'll get into that later. Well, let's talk about the new look for the artist formerly known as Poser Sham.
So he still goes by Poser, of course, for the time being. But yeah, so starting from head down, the hair's a little more trimmed, a little more maintained, but still very long, very flowing. But the biggest notice is the guy liner is gone. All the facial makeup, all the facial piercings are gone. He's a couple on the ears, but a lot classier, a lot more well-maintained. Clothes looking slightly less raggedy, slightly less ripped up, instead of being in a mosh pit, it's more of he just enjoys the bands, So that's kind of the t-shirt and jeans look he's going for. But it's a lot cleaned up. It's a lot sleeker. A little bit tighter. Looks a little more muscular. But the biggest thing is he holds himself differently. There's confidence in his step.
Okay. As you confidently, not only wearing like the most awesome new merch from your favorite band on your homeworld, hoping everyone notices or mentions it, right? Striding towards, your master that's waiting for you in robes. What would you say?
I'll just bow.
Okay.
Master.
Your master throws back the Jedi robe hood and...
I gotcha. Totally cloaked. You didn't even know it was me. Ha ha I borrowed a rope. Don't ask me how I got it, but I got you. It worked. Oh, this has been, kid, I gotta say, you look good. I dig the ride.
The appearance of Rahal in Jedi robes is like scary. It's just straight up scary. I mean, he's gone is the hat, the fedora, and he's like, he's oiled and cleaned up his hair and done it up like as if he were a real Jedi master, like his race, his person as a master, all cleaned up and hiding under the. Yeah, it's frightening, but yeah, you just assumed that she'd be waiting, and you know how she was always cloaking, hiding on you as training.
Yeah.
So when you didn't sense her on the deck, but perhaps she's taken to training Rahal a little bit in your absence. I don't know if you dare to broach that subject, but the scene fades out as the two gentlemen stride towards the main hatch, and there's Rahal still giving him the finger guns, like, yeah, kind of thing, right?
We cruise on by, and I poke my head in Merrick's room. It worked.
Okay.
I am good for you.
Yeah, Merrick, okay, has a generator that he's brought to his room to work on privately. And he's like just putting the finishing touches on it. But it's obviously something like that could put, like, it's like the Ghostbuster backpack. It looks, high output, high octane, and dangerous to carry around.
It's okay. Shielding covers 95% of radiation.
You see Poser. He looks good.
Poser. What is this?
Merrick.
Merrick stands up, walks over, and sizes up Poser in a way that, he recognizes.
Tactically? We're gonna tactics roll?
Very much so. You feel weighed and measured.
There you go. Go for it. Give me a tactics roll.
No. I got this.
Okay.
So, it seems you will no longer be holding back in combat.
That's the plan.
Put a hand on his shoulder. This is good. I am tired of carrying you. Welcome back.
You got me there, Merrick.
You will come by later and we will drink. You will tell me stories.
Absolutely.
You guys do know he went to his homeworld, so how did it go is, probably the least of your worries, right? Oh, and Merrick
brings guitar
and
to combat.
And Merrick, you
Great.
get a force point for that, buddy. That was awesome.
No, thank you.
That's good. So Merrick will be along shortly. The two gentlemen stride and present themselves to our captain. And there's the, transition with the woo Star Wars music, right? And then So now, you guys like that? Little classic Star Wars crawl, inserted to show the official...
Yeah. It's Star Wars.
Yeah. Like this, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, really. This one really feels like a new episode.
Yeah, it does. However, for the podcasting audience, Star Wars, Dawn of Defiance, Episode 4, Echoes of the Jedi. It is a dark time in the galaxy. The Jedi Knights, peaceful guardians of the Old Republic, are all but extinct, exterminated by the Emperor's sinister agents. Oh, look at that. It only took about 6 months. But a few Jedi still survive, exiled from the galaxy they once protected and leaving echoes in the Force behind. The Emperor has sensed these remnants and seeks to control them, leaving no chance for future Jedi to arise from the ashes. Most Jedi stay in hiding, some trying to foil the Empire without revealing their existence, like us, and others seek links to their former way of life, risking the wrath of the Emperor in hopes of reigniting the flame of their ancient order. Gentlemen, the scene comes down to the main briefing room upon the third deck of the Resurgence. Our captain is there. Absent is Old Man Zinn. Absent is Captain O'Keefe, who's gone on to new ventures. Present is still Gildervarth. And at the head of the table, ready to give the briefing, we see a smoothed out, flowing hair, cleaned up, not quite so hunched over and ratchety, elderly, female Master Dina. Now played by Meryl Streep instead of Ma from the Gold Coast. She waits for you all to assemble. Everyone's sideways looking at everyone's new armor, new glances, new weapons, brand new clothes, because, every Star Wars episode, official movie, like everyone had like a cool new outfit, right?
New droids?
New droids. That's right. So you can't really wear the battle armor in here, but I'm assuming your new little buddy.
Yeah, BD 4012.
Okay.
Yeah, the droid who only speaks Huttese.
Yes. He hops off your full shoulder at the arrival of Arthur, jets under the table, and comes over and starts beeping and whirling and at R4. R4 looks down at him and then tilts his leg forward as if putting his nose up, wheels past importantly, and makes a blue projection hologram full size of Dr. Leth, who can't possibly be disturbed from his lab and is attending this meeting virtually. Doesn't even say anything, just kind of waves like, go on with it. And you see him, rubber gloves deep in some kind of experiment.
He's in quarantine from the random alien STD he picked up during his research.
Actually, it's been a bit of an outbreak in the lab. That section's been closed off from the ship.
Yeah. And, and you guys can actually see in the background half a profile of Haas floating in that giant Bacta tank.
Yeah. There's been a chemical leak from the Bacta tank.
Yeah, there's something going on. Master Dina looks all around as if to cue that, okay, well, I guess that's everyone. And BD hops back to Merrick. Your help to our cause in the last few months has been invaluable, and your dedication exemplary. During my recovery, I've had time to reflect on our goal, to discover the purpose of the Sarlacc project. While studying at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, I learned about holocrons, recording devices into which Jedi stored their wisdom to pass on to future generations. Some holocrons, such as the prized Tedrin holocron of Master Akashaboda, were tailored towards helping Jedi Masters penetrate the secrets of the Force. And no one really notices as she says penetrate and starts waving her hand in a fish forward motion that she happens to be gesturing towards Rahal. In beings already trained in the Jedi ways. Pause. Subtle look. Like myself, greatly benefit from such source of learning. I summoned you because the Force has pulled together threads of knowledge to reveal the location of a holocron, similar to the Tedrin. Sometime before I traveled to Kata Nomordia, Master Ashka Boda contacted me with news that he had joined the former Almus Academy. That he had joined the former Almus Academy. Student Halagad Ventor in trying to form a network between the scattered Jedi survivors on the destruction of the Academy. During the Clone Wars, an orbital bombardment decimated the Academy in the Solarian system. And if any artifacts had survived, well, common sense suggests that they have been stolen. But the Force tells me, a little wink in Rahal's direction, the holocron we require, and then she looks directly at her new Padawan, who is now officially a Jedi, but she is still his master. The holocron we require is there. A silent moment passes between master and student. A reckoning, an understanding. Hey, boy, get me that stuff. I've never been to the planet Almus in person, but I knew the headmaster there. A serene Jedi master named Lennis Kelbertuk. I have no current information on the planet, but I can provide you with the coordinates and a path through the treacherous comet cloud that surrounds the Solarian system. These were obtained at great expense, thanks to Senator Organa's vast connections. No Bothans had to die. I feel this is crucial to our cause because I have sensed a link between the Sarlacc project and the slaves that you rescued above Bespin. But I have probed the Force tirelessly. Again, a sideways glance. And at that last final breath, at last I reached my limits. With this Jedi holocron, however, I might expand my ability to see through the Force and find new positions, new answers that we seek. Furthermore, I will be able to pass on the lesson it contains to future generations of Jedi. Little twirl of the hair. Thus coming one step closer to restoring peace and justice in the galaxy. The walls are lined with cadets. If this was a secret mission, perhaps the officers, the ensigns, were let in on this for whatever reasons, because there's suddenly applause. Any questions, gentlemen? What do you do?
Hall's just going to kind of look over at Poser. Kid, this one's up to you.
It's important that we collect this. If nothing else, then to stop any information getting into the hands of our enemies.
Master Dina folds her hands together, nodding in agreement, looking around the room for anyone else who wants to interject.
I think Rahal's done enough interjecting at this point. If you know what I'm saying.
Leth looks like he goes to say something or looks up, like he's thinking about it. And Arthur just kind of backs off and bumps the table, and like the feed for the hologram just kind of cuts out. And he opens the door and just leaves. In a bit of a huff. Like he's, pissed off that Leth made him do that. He just cuts him off and runs off.
Well, that's odd.
Good. I've been meaning to want to try this new suit out.
Your new battle armor.
Yes.
Awesome.
Take it out for a stretch.
Okay. The engineers of the Resurgence have programmed, or should I say, have given Dr. Leth to program into the nav computer of your ship. And Leth has gone and done something a little different with said information, that you guys can consult this for additional information about the system itself. Because not only is the nav computer telling you how to get there, Dina has, uploaded what she knows about the system, that type of thing, like the hazardous nebulous cloud that she mentioned, during the that kind of thing,
Ow.
Galactic lore
It's
of
okay.
5.
I'm not here for the knowledge checks. Let's be fair.
You're trying to remember something about the planet Almus or the Killian system?
No, I just remembered. I left Torch on. Oh.
Calarin system. Cularin. Calarin system or Solarian system. I'm going to think it's the Calarin system. Nope, never heard of it. Anyone else?
Nope.
Let's see what Brahal recalls. Nah, you don't remember too much either. No good trade there.
Can we make knowledge checks untrained in this system?
Yeah.
Is that a 1 I just saw go up?
Ugh.
13. Okay.
13.
13 I can show you where it is because you've heard of it. Like, it's next to the more important system that you know about.
Yeah.
So
So we're going. Oh.
let's go to the galaxy map and let's see where it is, right? But that's okay because, in time of need, or like I said, if you guys want to huddle up on the ship and take the time to learn. Your mission is straightforward.
Obviously, we're going to do research on the way to know exactly what we're coming into.
But what I'm saying is, like, your mission is pretty straightforward. Go there, look for a temple, academy that's destroyed, and see if you can't find evidence of the contact, the masters that she named, or this awesome holocron, which we will now reveal to be right.
Haha, social science is 19. To kind of see what I know about the system. What's it going to take? How's their political environment? How's their environment? Do we need masks or anything to breathe in it?
All right. So trying to show you guys, like, there's the core, there's Coruscant. So if you go straight south, like, usually everything always goes like east on the galactic map, all the Hyderian ways and all that stuff out to all the Hutties, which is like southeast, and all the stuff going out to Flute, right? Heading straight down on the galactic map to this little purple box here, the Calarian system, which is near the Brack sector. The Corellian Run is the hyperspace lane you guys use to get close to it. And before you get to the Duldar sector, you hang a sharp left and go east through or around the actual Brack sector.
Space east.
Yeah, space east. Through the Brack sector or around it, and then instead of its own sector, it's just a system. So let me just zoom in here a little bit here. So next to the actual Brack sector, right off of the Corellian Run, we have, and this is not far from Bothan space, by the way. Just saying.
It's all with the Bothans.
Well,
So many Bothans are probably going to die?
Not yet.
So you're saying?
Why?
We're saving them. No,
I just feel it.
there was no need. Bothans are awesome.
Donate now and you can save a Bothan child.
Yeah, to give him an education so he doesn't get folded into spy school, right? Set out like a Red Sparrow somewhere, and that's it. That's the end of that.
This child, if unprotected, will be absorbed by some government agency, trained into a spy, sent to retrieve some plans, die needlessly. They have a grinder for these people. It's horrible.
Needlessly.
Yeah.
Unneedlessly, but isn't that the opposite? Needlessly. Okay, I saw what you did there. It's all in the fine print with Messina's commercials. So yes,
unneedlessly would mean that he needed to die.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you slipped that in there, and I was just like, wait a minute. Merrick's pocketing the money, and they still die. All right. It's in the Expanse region. The climate on the actual planet you're going to is a desolate wasteland. There's temperate Caluthrin grasslands. The planet itself is high oxygen. That's good news. Explosive, right? Has one moon by the name of Dorma. The length of day has a 38-hour day. That's a long day.
They all feel like that now, Jeff.
Damn, I want that planet.
Oh,
38-hour days? That's what I want.
The year is not 365 days. The year takes 5,547 days for this sucker to orbit its satellite.
Local days as well.
Local days.
38 hours each.
Now, this information is like before the bombardment. Who knows what's there? But it was 66% human, 14% Terrasan, and 20% other species. The Terrasan looked like a lizard man that has the big flare out neck. You remember the first Jurassic Park, and the little guy would like flare out his neck like a big fan.
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah. So a humanoid with great big 3 green, fingers. Your classic. I mean, like, he looks like a Gorn from Star Trek, the classic Cro-Magnon lizard man head, but with this big, puffy, flared umbrella, kind of neck. And the smattering of everybody else, and of course, 66% human because they're everywhere. The capital has been abandoned, obviously. There is no government. There are no major exports. I wouldn't say it's a dead world, but it's definitely down on its luck, if not some ghost town of a system and world at the moment.
Thing like Tatooine-esque. Not organized.
No, because that actually has like an export, right? Because they would actually,
all right.
It's
Tatooine looks down at this planet.
It would be something like, an abandoned island where, like, okay, sure, maybe there is a smuggler, a pirate, or somebody doing there, but the planet itself has no government, so it itself has no export. Right?
Gotcha.
Where
Yep.
I guess Tatooine is technically like gang operated by the Hutts, but I'm not exactly call that government, if you guys follow me. Okay. So social sciences. You got a 19. Would you like to use a force point?
That really doesn't seem force point worthy, to be honest. So no, I'll take the 19.
Okay. Because you never know what a 20, might get you in knowledge.
No, I'm not going to do it.
What you don't know won't kill you.
Because
you didn't know if you didn't know.
It could kill me, but
you won't know about that.
A beating 10 on the opposite side of the planet from the city is a vast wasteland where no Cuthrin has grown for 200 years. This is like the grasslands. So there's like a dead zone for plant life. This dead zone is cold and lifeless. Full environmental suits are required to survive in this area.
Right, so that's one thing I'm going to make sure that they provide with us.
Okay. The area has...
For everyone. We all get environment suits for everyone. You get an environment suit. You get an environment suit.
Just like firing out from a t-shirt cannon.
They don't have any to spare.
Tough luck. Good. Somebody here is going to suffer.
The captain is like, say we have like a scientific team of suits, so it's like 8 suits, right? Something happens that's like it's part of the ship's stocks and stores, right? So it's like you'd have to persuade him to give them up.
All right, I will do so.
Okay.
Because, I mean, this is an invaluable mission,
okay.
Right?
Yep. So sometime amongst all this, right, cut scene to him in his private quarters.
A 21.
the Devant slides into his room.
Right, so there he is doing the classic ship in a bottle manufacturing with tweezers, right? And he's like, for some reason, there's that, like Trek, he comes in. Let's hear the rant, Rahul, when he's sitting there playing the bottle.
Listen, knowing the importance of this mission and what it could potentially mean to the movement here, I'm going to say I think that you should send us out with the environment suits we need to survive in this place. If we're going to be searching for some ancient temple, obviously it's not going to be anywhere near civilized space. We're going to need this.
Come on. Yes. And he fixed it.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Have a good day, sir. Out the door I go.
What? Okay, good day. You know. And that's how a 21 works. It just goes and steals the suits. Beating a 15, the heat of this wasteland. Sorry, in the heart of this wasteland is an ancient Sith fortress, which was abandoned about 1,000 years ago. Don't worry, it's just like a monument site. 1,000 years ago, this place was abandoned, but it was rumored to be a Sith fortress. The wasteland has grown at an estimated radius of 1 meter per year, though the death of the Calthalian grasslands was further accelerated very recently. Starting about 13 years ago, with sabotage by a dark side cult called the Believers. Since the raising, as in like raising, as in like, you know, leveling, of the Almus Academy, however, a radical surge in the dead zone has occurred. The wasteland now encompasses a radius of 5,000 kilometers, with a trail that leads straight to the ghost town of Forard. See how much knowledge one gained for 5 DC points? If you had rolled 20, but anyway, you didn't. Stubborn. So, you don't get to know you, stubborn prick. I tried. Hey,
Okay.
I tried. You know.
No, it's fine. Okay, so there's a Sith fortress, or an abandoned Sith fortress on a planet that has a destroyed Jedi Academy.
That's right.
Is that what I'm getting?
So
Okay.
let's go back in
Just
history.
wanted to-
A long time ago, there was a Sith fortress, right? And then it's fallen to ruin. So now it's just ruins. And you know, because it's, I don't know, maybe the planet's force sensitive or something, they decide to put a good guy academy. You know, stick it to the ancient Sith that are long gone and dead anyway, right? We'll
It's
build.
weird that the more I hear about the Jedi, the less I respect them, because they sound like a bunch of spiteful pricks.
Well, let's put it this way.
We
You're
built
wrong.
an academy right beside a Sith.
Seriously,
ruin.
Where do you
What
where do you
could
build
go
it?
wrong?
Where do you build a town? Near a river, right? Then that town, run by a
Right.
gang or mobsters or bandits or whatever, turns into a ghost town. You still got a perfectly good river for the next entrepreneur to come along and go, hey, let's build a town here. We'll just build it on
Yeah,
the
but
other
if-
side of the river.
Yeah, but if there's a bear pooping in the water upstream of you,
Hey, just saying.
that's
You need a town,
I don't know.
you need a water source.
To me, it kind of sounds like, I don't know, maybe I'm a Jedi conspiracy theorist, but maybe the Jedi were there culturally appropriating
Oh my
some,
God.
some
Dude,
Sith business.
dude,
you know what
I-
I'm saying?
they were there first. That's their land.
I will create a talent tree called the Jedi Conspiracy Theorist. If
Yeah, no, and you have a ghost spirit, force ghost.
you gotta be
whispers in your ear.
You gotta be force sensitive like Rahal is. But because of the conspiracy theorist, you can't take any training, any powers from this point. We're gonna launch you off into the new talent tree of God. Just saying, because you're not a company
All
man,
right, but what are the benefits?
huh?
What are the benefits if I can't use if I can't use force powers?
You get
Then
some
what's
William
the
Shatner.
trade-off? You know, there's always a trade-off.
There'll be something dice worthy. Like the first thing you get in any given talent tree, there are practical uses, and you know, like we'll put the flavor spin on it. That you're a conspiracy, but
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. I am dead serious.
I'm going to hold you to
You
it.
stay away from the Force, and we start launching you down the Jedi talent tree. And oh damn it, didn't we say rules as written? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh,
That's book
Well,
4.
well,
Come on.
Maybe we'll explore this concept in the other thing.
In a-
You know,
you said we're not going to talk about that.
you're right. We are talking about that.
Not talking about it.
Shit.
Spoilers.
Haha.
So, well, that's cool. Right, galactic lore. Going back to your galactic lore, we did have some basic galactic lore, right?
Yes, I got a 13.
Yes. 5, no. 9, Rahal. Actually, even let's start with Merrick. Merrick, because it's, you know,
No,
if
I'm
if it's reachable within 1 to 6 points, I told you guys I'd offer force points. So Merrick, you want to learn something possibly with a force point?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
I have many force points, my friend.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
worry.
just giving them out like candy.
All right, I spend force points.
Uh-huh.
Boom. Ah.
6. No. Sorry.
Okay.
Merrick with the 9. Did I establish it's like a 5, 10, 15, 20? Like, with the 9, does Mr. Stingy want to use a force? A conspiracy theorist would never use force points. It would be luck. I can't break a game mechanic, but it'd be like, it's not a force point. I'm calling them something else. Maybe we should explore this for like one game session. Just see where it goes. When you
Just for funsies.
when you level, right? Leave a talent open and we'll see what we can do with it. So anyway.
All right. You know what? Let's throw this out to the studio audience. If you guys think this is worth exploring, let us know.
So the conditions are, we're going to make a talent tree for a force user. Doesn't mean he can't become a force adept, doesn't mean he, right? But he thinks the actual conclave of the Jedi is like a government taking a good thing and doing something really wrong, and they are against everybody. So it doesn't mean he can't have force powers, it doesn't mean he can't be a force user, but they'd be like, I won't use a lightsaber because that's a Jedi thing. He won't do the Jedi mind trick and blah, blah, type of thing, you know, all that, you know, them kind of stuff. No tinfoil hats involved, but we're going to make up a talent tree that, I'm excited about this. We'll see. Like,
Jedi conspiracy theories.
it was just the way you said it, man. It was just like, that sounds like Rahal. So, yeah, but wait a minute. So what are you going to like?
That's why he's an entrepreneur. He doesn't trust anybody else.
It's because them damn Jedi always got some sort of agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so you're literally going to be anti-Dina. Like, Poser's your friend, and now he's becoming a Jedi. You might be like constantly
you becoming a G-man on me? You becoming a
because
G-man?
I saw a side of her the Poser ain't never gonna see. Let me tell you.
So
Multiple sides.
moving on. Knowledge Galactic Lore, Rahal. Do you want to spend a force point to nudge that roll?
No.
Because I'll tell you, a 1 could do you well, a 6 could do you really well.
It's true.
This is galactic lore.
True.
This is not Jedi knowledge. This is straight galactic lore. The more you know.
No, I'm not gonna chance.
Oh, okay.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
You can't take them with you, you know.
Are you
I need these things.
he's looking at Poser's roll going, well, he's gonna
Listen, I know for a fact that some evil patron points were pointed in my direction to hinder my survival. So I'm keeping as many force points in reserve as I possibly can.
Hey, we need to hear more tapes about the ex-wives.
Poser. In the
Yes.
in the chat, this is what 13 gets you. Let's try some
really?
let's try some character RP if you want to talk to the boys about what you know.
All right. Well, almost. I vaguely remember reading about it. Shoot. Believe it's a part of the Calarian system. Or Calarian system. It used to be lifeless, icy. But some plant named Kaluthin was somehow able to take root and gave it a proper atmosphere for most carbon-based life, but the atmosphere is still fairly toxic and hazardous. So we'll need some sort of breathing mask or regulator. That's all I know.
Are you guys at the level where every time you burn a force point, you get 2d6 to your roll?
It's next level. I'm like 83.5% sure.
Okay. Because I was just like, oh my god, wait a minute. Going back to America, it's like, yeah, you guys would be rolling 2d6 for that. That's something now. We'll be spending them like wine and water.
I'll have to look this up.
Yeah, like I was like, I'm trying to look it up while he was talking, but he ran out of intro. I was like, wait a minute.
Page 92 of core rules.
Oh, next level. Yep, next
Okay.
level.
Yeah.
You're right.
Now
you're
that being said, Poser, with a 13, you're very close. Would you like to spend a force point to possibly
I
no?
hate you because I use them the most and the most effectively.
It doesn't give you the full 2d6 though. You just get to roll 2d6 and get to keep the higher result.
I know, but
Okay.
that's still a game
It's
change. That's still like, for
Yeah.
for Merrick that rolled a 1, it's like, wait a minute.
You know what? Let's go for it. I don't do them, motherfucker.
Poser.
I got a 1.
Pose.
Oh, dude, if you got 2 or more, any other roll but the 1.
I'm aware of the percentage.
I am holding down the backspace.
Can I use a force point to give him a force point? I feel
No.
bad for him now.
No. feel
Wait, he's once.
feel bad. I'm like backspacing the paragraph I was about to light up like this entire time. That's how much we lost out on. It's like, just sitting there going delete. Oh no!
All right. So tell us what we know.
Well,
Let's figure out our business.
he told
I did.
he told you. I posted in there. I'm just double checking the rolls here. Galactic lore. No. Yes. Social knowledge. Did anybody else want to try social science knowledge if you have it? No.
Do it.
Would you like to?
Yeah,
would you like to phone a friend? Well, do you have social science? Because you got to do it trained, right?
I don't know. I had asked that earlier. No one answered me.
Sorry.
whether you have to do it
Okay,
trained.
so if you want to pull like the DC 10 stuff, which you've just spit out, you could. But if we're going to try for the 15 to 20, you need to be trained. But to answer your question, I'm pretty sure if the DC is like 5 or 10, anyone can have a go. But we've already covered that stuff. Would you like to phone a friend? About yay tall, doctor, knows everything.
Maybe not necessarily phone him at this exact particular moment, but
Okay.
we'll tap into that resource.
Yeah, okay. Have him remind you on the way there.
He seemed occupied.
Yeah, we'll come
Well,
back.
no, I think we talked to him before we left because there may be things we need to have before we go.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So maybe it's not
And
this
I
moment,
mean,
but all right.
Rahal secured the environmental suits. That's,
Okay.
I think, pretty key for exploring a desolate wasteland of a toxic planet.
Okay.
Yep.
Once a day, he's allowed to re-roll a knowledge, and I just burned it, but it's worth it. And it's up to him whether he's going to burn a force point. So he's got 1 good roll and 1 crap, even with his re-roll. So do you guys want to have the juicy part of the social science or the juicy part of the galactic lore?
Galactic lore.
Okay.
I think it's more encompassing. And we tapped up to a certain point of the social science.
Okay.
So I think if we use the big roll for the galactic lore, it'll get both of those knowledge levels on par. That's my vote. I leave it to the rest of you to decide.
Good
Yeah.
argument.
I second that.
Okay.
Also, you're actually correct about the knowledge and needing to be trained. So you can answer basic question about a subject related to your field with a DC 10 check, but expert knowledge requires you being trained, so DC 15 or higher.
I love how you guys, like, the few things I do remember about this freaking system, you guys are like, oh, and we'll look that up too. Oh, fine. Thank you.
We look everything
That's like
up.
one of the few things I'm unsure about, because like I
No,
know that's how it is in Pathfinder, but I didn't know if it carried
have
over.
been caught before, so it's fine. I mean, it was originally your job. It's fine. Okay.
Or an
Well,
organic rules adapting system.
knock
It's all our jobs now.
without a second roll, because we used his once a day, knocking the galactic right out of the park. Okay. I'm gonna give you this. The local knights on Almus. Sorry, I'll do an impression of him. What is it now? Very well. The local knights on Almus are not determined by the distant twin suns. Wherever Calith grow, everywhere except in the dead zone, I suppose, their phosphorus-filled leaves absorb the moonlight and make the surface of the planet glow. Somewhat amusing, I suppose, for the lowbrow species. It takes a while for newcomers to adjust to the dusk and dawn cycles. 38 hours. Can you divide that by 2? Yes, every 14 hours, which are determined by the Calith's leaves being either spread open or closed. A century and a half ago, the Jedi established a training academy on Elmis. The town of Ford was subsequently built, forming a circle around the Jedi Academy. The academy served as the city's center. Several Sadran farms were found wherever the Catherine grew. All were recently abandoned, however, shortly after the academy was destroyed, I suppose. Now the academy ruins and the surrounding town buildings are regularly despoiled by savages looking for valuable loot, I suppose. Yeah, man, I'm going there. The academy was attacked at the end of the Clone Wars by 3 starships, which took the resident Jedi by surprise. One was a Clarion allied force ship that was brought down by Jedi starfighters and crashed into the Academy grounds itself. Another was a mercenary vessel destroyed by the allies of the Jedi. The third was a black starfighter that fled shortly after the assault, possibly carrying the party responsible for the attack. I just happen to know these things, research and colleagues and whatnot. Now, if you don't mind, and he just kind of kills the feed. Every paragraph I read was like a DC 5 higher. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper, right? I'm just totally going to make Matt regret that foresight. It's just never going to... Okay, so... some back and forth, prepping for the ship, deciding what we need to do, convincing the quartermaster that those environmental suits are... we have like, what, you just yank 6 of them on the 8 or whatever. Matt, you're muted.
Sorry. However many there are of us. I don't think there's 6 of us, though. I think there's
Merrick is good, actually.
I was just stuff like R4 in a suit.
He's covered.
Yeah,
Sure.
I know
it's like Rahal.
Yeah. Take the hairdryer,
Poser.
shrink wrap it to his body.
Who else do we have if Merrick doesn't need it?
Leth.
Dr. Leth, yeah,
Leth,
sure.
Rahal, Poser. And like, what if you guys are always picking up...
Bears? What if we find
yeah.
So
you're
we'll take
picking-
4. We'll take 4.
Okay.
We won't,
Yeah.
we'll take half their supply. You said there were 8, we'll take 4.
Picture the scene, right? There's
Picture it.
the prince, the princess, and the father.
And here, I'll even give you
And-
a persuasion roll to use on the quartermaster to convince him that half-handed yes was an actual authorized approval.
Okay.
19.
Sure. They're 8
Thank you.
They're 8 suits. Now he's like, oh, we only need 4. I don't want to be a dick. It's like, yeah. Future scene where there's the charming prince, the gorgeous princess, and the father, and each one saying, save the other one because you only have 1 spare suit. You know, there's a dilemma that a patron point is going to thrust in your future.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I still have my stormtrooper armor, which gives me the environmental protections. But I mean,
Yeah.
depends
if you.
2 spare environmental suits are still pretty sick to have.
Yeah. Okay. So, are we ready to make the trip?
Engage.
Yeah, I think all our shopping is done. Rahal still has some bribery credits sitting in the bank. I mean, he's not. It's not like, planet buying, but
There's several emails.
it may
prepared.
squeak us past a few security officers with some gambling debt.
Okay. So, the scene comes down to the laboratory where Dr. Leth is up to his eyeballs in multiple experiments, and even R4 is he's like, Arthur, and he's not there. So, and he has to do a bunch of extra stuff himself. The scene fades back all the way up into a camera. Now, you guys have installed cameras and monitors on the ship. Merrick and Leth did this big, remember, because the assassins broke aboard. You guys wanted to have...
Yes.
Right? The scene
I remember.
pulls all the way up and into a camera like someone or something is watching.
So, now since the annoying little meatbag is busy, I will now... how can I... maybe take myself from this three-dimensional rendering of a somewhat biased, little useless organism. And maybe I should reinsert myself into the systems, the computer systems, the ship systems, through another meat bag that I've used before.
Very well. The scene shifts to Haas, unknown behind over the shoulder of Leth, who the cyber eye flares to life, and for a moment you see the human eye react as if they are two separate entities, and he starts to panic, become aware that he's in a tank, pound the sides a couple times, and then you see the cyber eye sort of intensify really brightly, and you see the human eye succumb and roll back in its head, and Haas go back to just floating in the tank. And we will see you next time on We Shot First, Season 4. Say goodnight, Haas. Well, good night. Because, you know,
Good night.
who's Haas?
Nice.